Greetings and blessings on this Wednesday, St. Paul's. Today, the psalm appointed in the daily lectionary is Psalm 101. I will sing of mercy and justice. To you, O Lord, will I sing praises. I will strive to follow a blameless course. Oh, when will you come to me? I will walk with sincerity of heart within your house. So today I want to share with you a thought about parenthood, because it's on my mind, as yesterday one of our children was working on a project for school, and it's about her history that, I don't know the details of it, but as part of the project, she was asking us, what did our parents do to help serve as a foundation for our future and for who we are today? I find it a very important topic because I like to think of this season between Mother's Day and Father's Day as parenthood season, particularly since we live in an era where families look different and parenting is not just simply mom and dad, but it is significantly changed and transformed. And so many people have to be celebrated for their role in raising children. So in that sense, I want to say that I am very grateful to my parents for what they gave us as a strong foundation to be better citizens of the world. My parents are very hardworking people. Even though my father has been gone from us for almost 19 years now, I know that he was always a person who was dedicated to being a good example and being a very hard worker, tried to educate himself as best he could, and also was working to give us, his children, the best foundation they could possibly give. My mom is still alive, and yes, she's probably at some point today going to hear this message as well. And I think that she has been one of the strongest examples for us as a family of what it means to be a person of faith. You might think that I would have said that it was my dad who gave us that prime example, but the reality is that I think that my mom, in her role as a lay member of the church, has continuously been a person who has shown us the example of what it means to live into our baptismal covenant. And that she has served on her vestry for so many years that I think that she's probably one of the longest serving vestry members in the history of her parish. But it's the values about what it means to be a Christian and a Christian family that have been so important to us. And I, as their child, am trying to make sure that I instill those primary values in the lives of my children. And I think Carla feels the same way, but I'm not going to speak for her. So I would like to encourage you all to remember the things that were instilled by you, by your parents, that have helped you become who you are today. It may take a little while to sit down and think about the details, because as children, we tend to overlook the details of what our parents did for us. We want to think about the big moments and the big brand things. That's what I'm going to call it right now. But I think that it is also in the small things. Like my mother being a nurse, anytime that one of us was sick, she found a way to have one of her colleagues in the hospital take some time out to look at us, to make sure that we were okay. I don't think that everyday kids who don't have parents who work in hospitals would have had that opportunity and that type of care. I know my father always took us with him to services and to some of his pastoral visits when he could. And he always talked about how blessed we are because of how the comparison between what God had given us and how others were struggling significantly more than we were. It wasn't just simply an issue of comparing, but it was also calling us to be grateful for the blessings that we had received. So I end my message today by saying I am deeply grateful for the ways in which God has blessed me, all of my family, with those two prime examples of what it means to be a quality human being in the world. And I can only hope and pray to be able to pay it forward for the next generation and the generations in the future. Have a blessed day, St. Paul's, and may you always be able to recognize your blessedness and the presence of God's eternal grace in your life.